Hi guys, this is Nicole with My Crafty Panda. Welcome back. So I just kind of had something that I've wanted to work on actually pretty recently. And I want to make a new journal. But basically, like last night, I was just doing this like quick, like 10-minute painting, and I really miss painting. I don't paint very well, not yet. It's something that I want to practice and learn on for sure. But you know, you can't get better unless you practice. So I wanted to make a journal specifically for practicing painting. It's basically be like a junk journal, but with the intention of painting in it. So last night I just did this quick little thing, and I think it turned out pretty cool. And it's stuff like this I would love to put in a journal and just keep forever, and then kind of see where I go. Like, I like real simple things like this, especially to start off. And you know, the background is actually paint, and then I don't have a good, well, I don't have a black acrylic paint at all, so I need to go to the store and get some black acrylic paint. So I ended up, for the tree, I ended up just using like permanent marker, you know. So here's a kind of a close-up. So I think it turned out kind of cool. I even like how, like, you know, the edges aren't really done. It's kind of a neat style. Yeah, so I would love to just have a book full of paintings like this. So I was thinking I would film some of the book making process, and then maybe you guys could paint along with me. Maybe you could learn with me, because like I said, I'm not a professional painter. Like I said, this took me like 10 minutes. It's nothing special. It's just a silhouette that I drew it with pencil and then I colored it in with the black. It's not like I just freehanded it. But yeah, so why don't you guys, you know, join me? That would be cool. And, you know, grab your paints and whatever, and you know, make a journal with me. You know, I think it would be kind of fun to see what everybody's journal looks like and what their paintings look like. And even if you're not good at it, just do it. If you love painting, or if you just love art in general and you just want to be crafty and you just don't know where to start, come join me. This is perfect. It's just a nice outlet. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do something. Just be creative. Okay? Okay. So I was just going to use one of these as my cover. I thought about getting a book, and you know, I just recently did a Dollar Tree junk journal. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and look in the description and I'll put a link. But you know, for the Dollar Tree junk journal, I went ahead and I used a hard book cover and ripped out the guts, and I don't feel like doing that this time, you know. So I want to make a cover with this, but I want it to look more like leathery. So I don't remember whose video it was that I saw this on, but she basically gave me the idea for this. So if I find out who it was, I'll link her channel down below. And I don't know why my camera is going crazy. Hello? Okay, well, anyway. So that better? That looks better. Okay. So yeah, so she gave me this idea. So basically all you need are obviously the vanilla envelope. Then you need some Mod Podge. It doesn't matter if it's gloss or matte. I'm just choosing matte because I want it to be, even matte is honestly glossy. But I'm just choosing matte because it's less glossy and I don't want it to be super, super shiny. So I'm using this with a little bit of water. I have water here. And in the video she used inks. I don't have inks, but I do have paint. So I have, this is old, really, this is really old. I haven't used this in forever. So this is called Chocolate Sprinkle. This is the darker one of the two browns that I have. I also have this one, which is Spice Brown. So I think I'm going to use mostly this. I might add just a little bit of Spice Brown, so we'll see. And then I just, you know, I have a little plastic cup that I cut down so I could put everything into. And then obviously you'll need like a brush, like I'm choosing this one, but you could also choose a foam brush, which I don't think I have any, honestly. I don't really like the foam brushes. I don't feel like they don't smooth things out enough. But they work okay if you don't have anything else. So anyway, so yeah, so I'm going to add some Mod Podge in here. I'm actually just gonna put the rest, and I got this small jar at the Dollar Tree, and it was already used. I'm not using all of it. It was like maybe, I don't know, like less than half full. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of water, and I'm not measuring really, guys. You know, just use your eyes. Use your eyeballs. So, and then I put in paint. Ew. Sorry guys. That sounded gross, and you know what? That looks gross too. Okay, well, let's fix that. So just mix it up to a nice chocolate milk consistency. It really looks like chocolate milk. It's kind of weird. I might need to put more Mod Podge in here, and I don't think I'm going to put the lighter brown in here because this is already pretty light. Yeah, this is like really, really watery. I have another thing that I had as a backup for a while. You shouldn't need to though. Like I said, the other one wasn't full. So let's add some more because that is just not thick enough. And what I would do, guys, I would save the container if it's empty. If you do something like this, that way you can just, like if you have anything left over, you can just pour it into this, and then you'll have it for the next time you want to make, you know, I don't know how leathery it's gonna look, but more of a leather style cover. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Come on. There we go. It's slowly thickening up. I think definitely use a lot less water, like maybe even do like a few drops and then mix it, because I clearly used way too much water. Yeah, I still want it thicker. Oops. I'm just gonna add a bunch because it needs a bunch. I don't want it like watery. I want it at least to get like a little bit creamy. Is that the right word? Like thicker? I don't know. I don't know, look, it's still so drippy. I hope I don't have to add the whole thing of Mod Podge in here. But if I do, it's okay, because it was only $1. I really did not think I was going to fill it up this much. just gonna go for it. It's still really watery, but honestly, I just want to see if this will work. So I'm just gonna get some scrap paper. This is just, you know, what I use the rest of the color on, so I'm gonna turn it around. Put these on top, protect my surface a little bit, because I feel like this is gonna get messy. Okay, well, here we go. Here goes nothing. See, that's almost like a gray brown. Ew, what are these chunks? Gross. Okay. I don't like chunks of anything. Ugh. I don't think that this is going to work out like the dye was going to. But if it doesn't, at least you guys will know what not to do. But somehow we will make this work, because art is all about, I feel like art is about going with the flow. Sometimes mistakes can turn into beautiful things. Something that you never imagined you could even make. I've definitely had those moments where I've just looked at something and I was like, how did I do that? I had no idea. Like, that did not come out of my head. But just go with it. Don't freak out if you make a mistake. Art is all about experimentation. Or experimenting? Experimenting, I think, would be the better word. I may have to do a couple layers of this for it to work, because I'm noticing when I put more on top of something that was already down, it seems like it's looking a little bit better. So I think that's what I'm gonna go for. I may even dry it and then put another layer on it. I love the sound of crinkly paper. It's so satisfying. Does anyone else like the sound of paper? I know there's a lot of people out there that do, but I'm wondering, for people who don't necessarily do journaling or anything like that, do they like the sound of paper too? It's kind of like, what came first, chicken or the egg? Do I journal because I love the sound of paper? Or do I just journal because I want to journal and the sound of paper is a bonus? I don't know if that made any sense, but I like to think it does. I guess my question really is, if you like the sound of crinkling paper, how do you not journal? Or maybe like scrapbook, or, you know, something where you're working with paper. I don't know. Can you tell the difference between like right here and right here? Like, I have multiple layers here, only one layer. So okay, well, oops. Put a little more over here. Just another like blob of something, of Mod Podge. Okay, I'm gonna dry this and I will be right back. Okay, I am back and it is mostly dry. It's still a little damp on the inside, but you know what? This actually didn't turn out too bad. I am going to put more layers on it, but I really like the way it turned out so far. Before, after. So let's go ahead and put another layer on. Okay, I'm back after drying the second layer, and that is what it looks like. I'm digging it so far. I thought it was gonna turn out like that gray color, but I think that was just the white from the Mod Podge. But obviously, as Mod Podge dries, it clears, so it still turned out brown, which is cool. And I kind of like. It didn't really turn out even, but I kind of like that because it gives it that like weathered. Just a weathered look. I wouldn't say like it looks exactly like leather, but it feels cool. It's like real smooth from the Mod Podge. So I'm digging it, but I think I'm gonna do another layer. So I made a boo-boo. The envelope got stuck to the wax paper and it ripped off a piece. So there goes my flap idea. I don't think I'll be using the flap. I actually may have to cut it down a little bit more. So let's get rid of this because this is nothing but trouble. So just be careful when you guys are making these that, you know, this is a total experiment for me. So keep that in mind. You guys can learn through my experience. So let me get my cutter out. Okay. And we're gonna just trim it up we're still gonna use it. I'm still gonna make a journal out of this. Oh, I know why it's not cutting through, because the little thing isn't over here. So we're just gonna try to peel that off. Keyword here is try. Okay, well, I got it off. Let's see if I'm gonna take off a little bit more. Okay. Oh, look at my hands. Okay. Well, that was a little bit of a disaster. And I just threw stuff on the floor. Good job, Nicole. Okay. So, got a little goopy there. I'm gonna put a little bit more over here. Hopefully this time it won't get stuck. Obviously it wasn't completely dry because I tried to do a couple layers like I did for the other one. So just make sure it's totally dry. Okay, so here we are. My cut down manila envelope. So it's pretty much dry, but I want to make sure that the ripping thing doesn't happen again. So I'm gonna let this dry probably for at least an hour just to make sure before I go ahead and glue anything, insert anything. But it looks pretty cool. Okay guys, so what you just saw me do was insert a piece of cardstock that I cut down just a little bit smaller than the actual cover, so it'll slide inside. And then I had glued just one side of it. I don't think it's necessary to glue the other side, but you will get this, like, see how it's like a little bubbly right here? It's because there's nothing gluing it down to the cardstock. So you can glue it all. I just find it to be a little bit difficult because you do kind of have to slide it in. I guess I could have used glue stick. I think that would have been okay, but you know, just, you know, do it the way that you want to do it. But, you know, I just glued the one side where it had the opening, and I smeared a little bit of the tacky glue here on the opening as well, just to make sure everything was sealed nice and tight. Smoothed everything down, dried it, and then I went ahead and took some of this, I guess it's like craft paper, and I didn't want it to be like neat, so I went ahead and ripped the edges like you saw me do, and then I glued it down. Now I used 2 glues to glue it down just because it is the inside cover. I just want to make sure that it does stay. So I used the Playskool Jumbo glue stick, which is just a glue stick that I had on hand, and then I used Aleene's tacky glue, and then I kind of smoothed it out so I wouldn't get any weird bumps. So now I want to put a closure on here before I do anything with signatures. So there's a few options for closures. So I have a few options. You can just use a regular ribbon, which, you know, there is this ribbon. I don't see a name, but it's just like an off-white color. So, and what I want is I want it to just multiple, like wrap around multiple times. So I'll put it through the center, and let me find the end here. Sorry. Okay. So, and then I just want to wrap it around like a few times like that. So maybe like 5 or 6 times. So you kind of get an idea of what it would look like with that. So there's that. So yeah, another option would be some jute cord. I have this big thing of jute cord. So again, you know, I would take it, and I actually think this complements the brown pretty nicely. So let's see. I want it to be pretty long. So that looks cute. So there's that option. And then I also have some of this vinyl cord in like a gold type of color, and I found this a while back at a Goodwill. So again, let's just kind of see what it looks like. It's kind of nice because it's like similar shininess that the actual cover is. So there's what that would look like, but I actually don't really care for the way that it looks with, like, you know, binding it multiple times, because it's real stiff and it likes to stick together. So it doesn't have as nice of an effect. So I definitely don't think I'm going to be using that. So let's put that away. Okay. So it's between the jute and the ribbon. So it's pretty much, do I want to go for like a lighter, softer look, or do I want to go with the like almost grungy, more natural look? And I think I want to go with a more natural look. I just think it looks really nice in contrast with this cover. So let me put the ribbon away. Okay, Well, you know what? I'll do that later. Okay, so I'm going to take my poker. I forget what this is called. An awl? Maybe that's not even it. I don't know. So I'm not gonna measure anything. I'm just gonna eyeball it. It is just for me, so I'm not being super particular. So, but I just want it in the center-ish. So I'm gonna poke a hole and just be careful doing this. Like, you definitely don't want to hurt yourself. So can you see? You can kind of see it. So there's a hole right, it's hard to see on camera, but it's right there. And there's the hole right there. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, I can see a little better. Okay, now I need a needle, which mine is over here somewhere. Oh, okay. So, and these are just the round tip needle. You don't need a pointy needle for this because you already made your hole, but you can definitely use one if that's all you have. And sometimes I find I have to use my teeth to get them out of here. Whatever works, right? So just, you know what, let me figure out how much of this jute I want first. So we'll start. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My card got full, so I had to, you know, delete some things and transfer some things. But anyway, so all I was doing was wrapping around this jute twine around the journal. Now, take into consideration that it will get bigger once you put the signatures in. If you want to wait until after you at least have your signatures together so you can get more of an exact I guess measurement, then you can do that. But I don't want to do that, and I have a lot anyway, so for me it doesn't really matter so much. But I was kind of thinking, I think I'm going to double this up just because I feel like it's so thin, and I just really like the layers of like multiple strips over and over, and that's kind of why I want it so long. So hopefully I won't regret it, but I'm just going to double this up then. So take my other jute. And I love like the natural, sorry about my dog. I love like the natural feel, and I love the natural look of jute. It's just, it's not the first time I've used it in a project, and I really enjoy it. So, all right. So, now you want to take your needle. And now the downside to doing two is that I have to get both of these in here, so I will do my best. This might take me a minute. I'm just trying to flatten it as much as I can. So you're going to pull it through all the way until you're almost out. So, and then all you want to do is just tie a knot. So obviously when you have two on here, it's super easy to tie a knot. And just making sure it's super, super duper tight. So now that you have your knot, and give it a few little tugs and make sure it's not going anywhere, and it's not. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the excess. And I believe the signature should hide that, so it shouldn't even be a big deal that it's there. And it'd probably be better if it was like that, up and down, because it won't affect the signature so much. So now, just as an extra security measure, I'm gonna just, well, first of all, I take the needle off. I'm just gonna give it a quick little tie on the outside too. Just make sure it's not going anywhere, so it'll be tied from both sides. Okay. One thing about jute is it is a little bit messy. It does shed just a little bit, but for me, I don't care. It's fine. So, okay. So here we go. This is what we have so far. We have this insanely long piece of jute, but that's what I wanted. And look how much prettier it is doubled up. I'm really happy that I chose to double the closure. So, but now that we have that, let's move on to signatures. So I'm gonna put this aside for now. So for signatures, I have, you know, when I did this painting, again, this is for a painted art journal, basically is what we're making today. So when I did this painting, I just did it on this leftover piece of coffee paper, or coffee dyed paper, and I actually really love the way it turned out. But I want a few different varieties because I feel like it'll also be a nice experiment to see how paint will affect different, paint will react on different types of paper. So I will be using some of the coffee dyed paper that I have. I also thought about maybe cutting up a few pieces of these craft paper that I use for the inside of the cover. Right there. I think those would look really nice painted on. And then I do have some multi or mixed media paper that I use as a drawing book, but I have a ton of paper still. So I definitely want to take a few pieces of these, and this should definitely, yeah, it says acrylic, watercolor, pen, and pencil. Like I said, it's a multimedia type paper. This is honestly like my favorite type of like sketchbook paper, but it is expensive, so I don't want to use all of this paper in the journal. I would rather use a variety, that way I have like really good quality and some just, like I said, I want to experiment with how different papers will react. So I think those 3 types of papers will be enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut and measure some paper, and I'll put together some signatures, and I will be back after I have it probably will only be 1 signature because of the style of journal that I made. It doesn't really have a what do you call it? Shoot, I am at a loss for words right now. It doesn't have the width part of the book. The binding? No. I don't know. You know what I mean. It's not thick enough, I feel like, for multiple signatures. So I'm just going to do a lot of 1 signature. I'm not quite sure how many papers yet, so I'm just going to get cutting, and I will be back when I have some cut. Okay. Okay guys, I'm back and I have some papers cut. I haven't put them in a signature yet. They're all still individual. But I just wanted to briefly go over how I did this. So basically I took one piece of paper and I measured it the size that I wanted it so that it would fit nicely in here. And I like it when there's a bit of an overlap, if you can see that. Yeah, anyway, so I like it that when there's a little bit of an overlap. So I got one page the way that I like it, and then basically I would, you know, fold the other pages in half, and I'll use this piece of paper for an example. Okay, it's not what I'm going to be using, but so then I would put the paper that I was already cut on the outside of that paper, and then I would just line up one side, and then I would cut this excess and then this excess off. So they were all the same size. So, and I just used my paper cutter. So just, you know, a quick little how-to, I guess, on that since I didn't film it. But yeah, so, you know, I have the thick media paper, and then I have the very thin craft paper, but I think it'll be fun. And then I have the coffee dyed paper, and I just did 5 of each type of paper. So now I need to figure out how I want my signatures. Do I want to alternate, or do I want to keep the groups together? So do I want to keep all the coffee dyed papers kind of together? Do I want to keep, you know, the other ones together? So I think what I'd like to do is maybe start with the mixed media paper because it is stronger, and I feel like it'll just kind of keep everything together. So I think I may just go ahead and put down all of one type, so all the mixed media paper together. And then let's put the thin paper. And of course it's so thin that it's curling a little bit. Well, plus it was in a roll too, instead of a big craft roll. So, and then I will put the coffee dye paper in the middle. Okay. So now, because I made them exactly the same size, when you fold them like this, they're not going to be exactly aligned, because the outside paper will, you know, go outwards, and then as you go inwards, it doesn't go out as far, so it's the original size. So just kind of keep that in mind. I may go back and trim this up so that they do line up a little bit better. I'm not sure. I think I at least want to do that with the inside paper, so the coffee dyed paper, just because it does stick out quite a bit more than the rest of them, but I think I don't mind the rest. So I'm gonna go trim those real quick and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back. I got it trimmed and it looks so much better. So yeah, I'm excited. I think this is gonna be a fun little paint journal. So alright, let's open this back up. And we will just want to put it right on there, and I'll probably put that just slightly behind, like that. Yeah, I think that'll be really cute. Okay, so I have 15 pieces of paper in here, which essentially is, what, like 30 sides. Not too bad. That'll give me the option to do spreads or individual. Like, I'm sure that when I get to like pages like this where it's one side and another side, I'll probably do individual paintings versus like doing a spread, which, you know, I would probably want to do on something more like this where it's all the same type of paper. So yeah, so now I just need to figure out what material I want to use to thread my journal with. So I will be right back. Okay, so I found some of this Bigger's twine that we can use for the signature, to attach a signature to the cover. So, but first I want to make myself a little template. So let's get, no, not that. Well, if I can find something to use, we can do that. Here we go. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to line this up with the length of our cover. There we go, sorry. So we're going to cut that off. It would help if I put it on the right side. Okay. And then what I do is I will fold my template in half. Like that. So now if you pretend this is your signature, or where your signature is gonna go, I like to draw 3 holes. So we have one maybe like an inch, inch and a half down from the top, and then make sure the crease is lined up. Okay, and then 1.5 inches up from the bottom, and then 1 in the center. So, and you want that right on the crease. So, we'll take our little punch thing again, this guy, and we're going to poke holes through the template we just made and the cover. So let me grab 2 of these clippies just so we can make sure that they stay lined up, because we don't want our template to move away from our crease for the sorry, concentrating too hard on this. Okay. We just want to make sure it stays on there, so the holes will line up and go through the crease on the cover. So I'm just kind of giving a little push, make sure it's still on there. If you feel like it is, go ahead and push through. And it's probably best if you have like maybe styrofoam or something on your table, but If you feel comfortable enough, you can do it this way. Just make sure, you know, you watch out your fingers. So I don't know if you guys can even see, sorry. Okay, so now that those have holes in them, you can see I have holes on my spine. This one's kind of covered by the little tie that we put earlier, but that's okay. So yeah, now that we have that, we will take our signatures, make sure they're still lined up nice and straight and they're pushed together as far as they can go. And by the way, while the camera was off, I went ahead and put this image that I made in the middle of, you know, the full signature of the whole journal, because it was the inspiration for this journal. So I figured it would be nice to have the original in here because I really do like it too. So so yeah, we will just line up these clips. Okay, so I went ahead and I clipped both the top and the bottom, 2 each. Just make sure, you know, the corner stays in place. Just try to make it centered as possible, and that's what, you know, this is going to help with too. So line it up where you want it, and this one's actually going to be a little bit big, and I want to try to clip it in. So, shoot, okay. Okay, I had to make sure that I have it in the right place. I'm not going to clip it, but I know I'm in the right spot. So you just go through that hole you made earlier for the cover and go through. And again, be careful because this thing is sharp. Okay. So I have my hole number 1. Make sure you have your paper in place as you pull it out so it doesn't move anywhere. And start your second hole. And I usually twist until I get through as far as I want to. I hope you guys can see. Okay. And hold the paper. Find your last hole, which is right there, and twist. Okay, so now you can take your shoot, what did I call it? Oh, a template. Now you can take your template. You don't need it anymore, unless you're going to be making the same measurements for another book. If you don't do another book that's the same measurements, I mean, sorry, I'm getting tired, guys. Yeah, so I think I'm probably gonna bind this book, and that's probably all we're gonna do for today. So, but yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I found this baker's twine that I wanted to use. So, I would have liked something like all brown or black, so it wasn't as contrasting, because you will see it on the outside as well. So, but it should be fine. It'll look cute still. So. The way that I like to do it is, well, we have 3 holes, so I want like just 3 pulls. So a pull for me is like pull, you know? So pull and pull, and then I will cut there. If I knew where my scissors were. Again, getting slurper. Okay. So I will, where's my needle? There we go. Sometimes it's hard to see on this like patterned cutting board. So, I mean, I could flip it over and use the other side, which I probably will do eventually. So, but right now I'm just threading my needle with this baker's twine. And it's, you know, spreading a little bit. Here we go. Okay. So, and I don't have to pull it all the way through or anything. I just, you know, pull it through a little bit so it doesn't get loose as I do my first pull through. But, so I'll start at the top, the holes of my signature, and I'll go all the way through. And I'll go through until there's about 2 inches left on the end of, or the middle of my signature. And then this is where I will tie a knot as close to the end as you can. So, and usually I will double or triple knot just to make sure, and I definitely need to do it on this because this is a smaller, thinner way to bind. Usually I use thicker material than baker's twine, so and I feel like I made the holes for the signature and the cover as well. I feel like I made them pretty big. Really not thinking, okay, yeah, I only have baker's twine that I'm using, so we'll see. It should be fine though. Like I said, I'm just gonna make a knot at the end. And I'm trying to make it kind of bigger. Come on. Come through. Okay. Maybe one more. I don't think it wants to go again. There you go. Alright, now I will do a gentle test to make sure that it will not go through. And I feel like if I pulled hard enough it would. So I'm just going to pull it back through and do maybe like 1 or 2 more knots. I know this can be a little tedious. Again, if you have a thicker material that you're sewing the book with, or your signatures onto, you really won't run into this problem. Usually I don't have to tie more than 2 times, so if that kind of gives you a better idea. No. Oh. I will probably go to bed after this. And my doggy's barking. Mojo! What are you barking at? So both of them came running, huh? It's taking me forever to tie this. Oh my gosh. Okay. One more. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get like really OCD, or I don't even know if OCD is the right word, just like really particular. Like I'm like, it needs to be bigger. Oh my gosh, like the whole thing's coming apart. What the hell? I hope baker's twine was okay to use. I've never used it like this before. But it's like not staying together. Okay, there we go. I think I'm getting it. And I may have to fast forward this part. It's ridiculously long. I'm just spending 5 minutes tying a knot. No big deal. Doo-doo-doo. I'm spending 5 minutes tying a knot. Mojo, please. I'm recording, okay? I'm trying to do a video. Do you want to say hi? Come on. Come on. No, you big baby. I don't know if he'll come down. I can kind of see him. Say hi. And there's my other big baby in the background. Okay. I know. Sorry. Alright, go lay down. Go. They're so cute. Sorry. Okay, well, let's see if that'll stay in there. Man, I'm having all kinds of problems. Yeah, I don't think the twine's working. You know what? I'm gonna try. I had a ribbon earlier. Here we go. Let's try this brown ribbon. I think that might work better. So, you know, well, let's untie that first. Whew, I think I forgot to take my Claritin today. Okay. So I have 1, 2, and 3. I know that was a long 3. I noticed 2. Okay. So, get off. Okay. I need that needle. Put it through here. We'll try this again. Oh, it would help if I had the right side. Okay. So, one more time, guys. Put it through the top. Pull it through as far as you can. Well, not as you can, or you'll pull it out, but pull it up to a couple inches and then tie your knots. So there's a knot. Knot. Test it. I think that one will be okay. Do one more, just in case. Just in case. I just really want to make sure this stays together because I'm excited about this journal. I'm excited to use it the way that, you know, when I make journals, I feel like I never make them for myself. So, which, you know, I don't mind because I love the process, but for me, I almost don't have like a good reason to use one, you know? I don't really like, I don't know, I don't really have the time to like write every thought I ever have down. Because that's what I would want to do. It would be, yeah, I get obsessive about it. So yeah. Anyway, so that worked a lot better. So now that we got it through the first signature, we'll put it through the first hole of the cover. Okay, and then we'll pull it tight until it lines up. And I have so many strings on the table that I am getting confused. Okay, we're gonna move these over. Guys, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so tired. Okay. So, we're gonna finish this real quick and not lose things. I hope you guys are getting this. Yeah, just, you know, keep putting them through the holes. So I put it back into the middle signature on the outside, to the inside, back into our signature in the middle hole. There's a small knot in there, so it's snagging a little bit, but it's okay. So here we are, and into our last hole into our signature, and out into our cover to the outside. And this is where you really want to make sure you're pulling it tight, because now it is all the way down. And take your needle, one more time, go into your middle hole and into your paper. This part can be tricky sometimes because the actual like thread can get in the way of you getting back in. There we go. I got it. I just had to cheat and look. Again, pull tight. There we go, that looks good. And once more into the top. Whoops, try not to get it. Well, I can take the clips off now if I want to. Pull tight. Okay. I almost forgot the camera was on. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we just go through the middle one more time. There we are. And then we tie it pretty much. Tie it as close to the actual signature as you can. And just for good measure, I'm going to tie it one more time, or 2 more times, or 3 more times, or 10 more times. Okay, make sure it's not going anywhere. That looks good. Okay. So then we just tie off the excess. See, and I still had a ton left. I probably could have gone two pulls. That actually looks nice. I think I like that better than the twine would have looked because it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty dark, so it kind of blends in with this. I kind of like it. I could almost make like a tire swing or something. That would be really cute. So, anyway, so yeah, I just finished my paint art journal. I'm really excited about this. So it looks really good and it's really, really smooth. It actually looks a lot more like leather than I thought it was going to. So as disastrous, there we go. As disastrous as making this cover was, I feel like it turned out pretty good. I don't think you can really tell where it came from because it was bad. So, you know, this ridiculously long wrap, which I feel like, I mean, did I really need it this long? Probably not. But if I wanted to, I can always cut it. But honestly, when it's closed, it looks awesome. So yeah, here we go. And it's all together, nice and tight. So I could do a whole scene here. Spread painting, I guess, if you will. And these are super, super thick, so these will be super nice for painting. This is going to be questionable because these are not very thick at all. But I'm looking forward to the challenge. Maybe I'll have to stick to just like people or things or flowers or whatever that I want to draw, not so much like background drawings. I think that might be better for this type of paper. So, and then a coffee dyed paper, which, you know, the one I did already is coffee dyed, which is this, as you saw earlier. And I could have cut this off, but I really like the effect of it not going to the whole page, like it covering the whole page, which it would have looked more like if I would have, like, you know, taken that off. So I think I like it better with it, so I just folded it over, kind of like a junk journal, right? It's kind of where this is. I mean, it's kind of a junk journal. It's got different types of paper, and it's made out of an envelope and some jute and ribbon and just a Mod Podge of things and Mod Podge. Yeah, so I really love the way this turned out. I mean, seriously, I don't think I'm doing anything else to it. I would normally say I could add like a charm or something, but I think this wraparound is plenty enough hassle as it is without a charm. So yeah, I like it. If you guys made one, let me see. Show me, message me, or send me a link in the comments. I would love to see if you guys, you know, followed along or if you made something totally different. I'm sorry this video is kind of like wacky at parts. I don't feel like it was, I don't know. I just feel like it was weird. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm out of it. So I think I need to go, and I think I need to go to bed. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for sticking around to the end if you're still here. And like I said, let me see if you guys made something. I'd love to see. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would love to have you guys around. I love sharing inspiration and getting inspiration from other people. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great day or evening wherever you are, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!